Welcome to the Twist Happy Hour, where we talk about anything and everything.
And then some.
Right. So, as you know, we like to kick off our chats with a cocktail or mocktail. Today, I am drinking some kind of watermelon, orange blossom syrup, mint, lime concoction I came up with.
Good grief.
It's
That's
what I
like
had.
9 ingredients for one drink.
I'm not a big fan of the watermelon sparkling water that I picked up. It's a little too cloying. I don't know what the word would be, but it's just a little too like Jolly Ranchery.
Okay.
So I would probably use fresh watermelon juice next time and just sparkling water.
Well, your drink is fancier than mine. I am drinking, not a shameless plug, a recess.
It's a recess.
A recess Paloma, which I've never had before, but I stopped and I was like, I don't feel like making a mocktail. I just want to pour it out of a can. And so I don't know.
I mean, why not?
I'm going to try it and then we'll see if it slaps or what is it? What do they say? Slaps or something else? I don't know. The kids
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's something the kids are saying these days. It's fine.
I'll have to ask mine.
Okay. It's not great.
So we won't be having that again.
It's ice? I don't know. It's not. It tastes like it tastes like it tastes like a Paloma with bad tequila in it. But note, I will just keep drinking it. So.
Like, don't waste it, okay? Yeah, this is why I have so many like different kinds of simple syrups and like juices in my fridge. Like my family thinks I'm insane because I just don't like that like kind of artificial taste I get from canned stuff. Yeah. It just grosses me out. You know, if
it looks like an apothecary has been putting things in your refrigerator.
Like it looks like a crazy hoarder mason jar lady is in my fridge at all times.
You know, a side note, also not a shameless plug. IKEA has those like Grolsch bottles that you can make simple syrup in, and then it's not a mason jar. It looks a little bit more like legit
and not a mason jar.
People are interested in that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know. I have like 1,000 old mason jars from like spaghetti sauce and whatever. So
if you have any of the blue vintage ones, go throw those up on Etsy because they're worth it.
Nice. And I apologize for anyone who is experiencing the thunderstorm that is outside of my house right now.
Oh no, I can't even hear it, but I like saw a little flicker. I was so confused.
Yeah, you're blurry on my end.
Well, that's because your internet access is horrible.
It's probably due to the fact that there is a storm. So, you know, it's fine. So what's on our docket for today?
So I want to talk about ridiculous Guinness Book World Records.
Okay. Like the lady that grew her fingernails like 47 inches, that kind of thing?
Yeah. Like that's just like, did we need a world record for that?
I think that it's something for people to strive for, right? So setting goals is good. I've been told. My therapist has told me like that's a good thing to do. I don't know if the fingernail thing, I don't know what the maintenance is on that. So, I mean,
they're like really curly, right?
Yeah, they start to curl down. Like, and keep in mind, this is coming from like what I saw in the book when I was a kid. This was when it was like everybody had a Guinness Book of the World Records in their house. Now people, I guess, look it up online, as I'm doing right now. You just look it up on your phone. It's fine.
I know. Well, this all came about because there was like a news article, and my husband swears that this came out a while ago, but it says, and I'm like going to read it off because, you know, my memory's crap. A man paddles 38 miles down the Missouri River in a 1,200-pound pumpkin. Why?
Okay.
Why did he need
I have a lot of questions.
Like he hauled it out, and then he like got a paddle and paddled himself down. But I'm like, okay, well, was the flow of the river helping that, or was he paddling the whole way? Well,
I think you got to start with he had to grow the pumpkin the size that he needed. So there's no guarantee that's going to happen, right? So you're growing a pumpkin, you're just kind of cultivating it, seeing what's going to happen. You know, he can't be a very large man, I would imagine, because...
I mean, he looks like an average size dude. Like, I don't really...
Then you have to, so this all has to be premeditated. Nobody's growing a pumpkin and thinking I'll grow one big enough for me to, you know.
Well, unless he was one of those like pumpkin contests where, you know, you grow the biggest pumpkin you can, you see.
And then he thought, what else can I do with this bad boy?
Yeah. Cause I mean, you can't really eat those at that point? Is it like a giant zucchini where all it's good for is bread?
I don't know the rules of the gourd family. I don't have that information. I do wonder, what is this, a married man? I always think that, like,
Good question. We might
what
have to
is
do a
his
little
spouse
research.
saying? Is his spouse like, is this really what you want to do with your time?
I mean, we all need our hobbies, right? I propagate plants.
That is true. I feel like hollowing out a pumpkin that is the size of a human being is a little more than a hobby. I'm sure there had to be a lot of promotional, like, he has to like write into Guinness and be like, I want to do this. Like, there have to be like promotional aspects to
You
it.
do have to be like, I'm going to attempt this. But like, had anybody ever attempted it before? Probably not. So really, like, I guess you're setting a record, but then somebody else could come tomorrow and reset it, I suppose.
Yeah. So is it better to beat a Guinness record, or is it better to begin the record setting process?
I feel like beating one because, there's no precedent before that.
Yeah.
If
You're
you're starting
basically
off,
setting yourself up to have somebody beat you.
yeah, it's like, oh, I could be the first one that ever did it, but am I going to be the last one? Probably not.
Yeah, I just saw this. I don't know that this was in the Guinness Book of World Records, but I just saw a woman who swam across some channel. I have like very little information about it, but she was like stung by like 1,300 jellyfish on the way, and I was like, that sounds terrible.
And she
Why
got a
would
record for
do
that.
I mean, good for her. I
Good.
support her in her
I
decision.
don't know if that's what I want to be
Also,
known for.
oh, girl, oof, the
Okay,
jellyfish.
so the other one that kind of like threw me is the longest marathon on a swing. A dad of
Oh,
three,
I could do that. I got you. Sign me up.
in the UK claimed this record after spending 36 hours and 32 minutes
Only
on
okay.
a swing. 36 hours. That's like a day and a half.
Yeah,
Did he
I thought you were going to say a week or a month. I could go for, I will beat it.
swinging on a playground swing?
Who do I call? I love to swing on a playground swing. I was like the king of the playground swing in my elementary school. I
You
could
gotta prep for that.
easily.
Who is it? The senator that like prepped to do his 24 or 25 hour,
Oh, yeah, Cory Booker.
where he was just like, yeah, I just had to start like dehydrating myself and fasting and all this stuff. I'm like, 36 hours
Yeah.
on a swing?
I didn't take into account the bathroom breaks.
Yeah, I need bathroom breaks.
36 hours without going to the bathroom should in and of itself be a record.
I mean, right?
Well, doesn't David Blaine do that too? The magician who like ties himself to like a skyscraper in a clear box or something?
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
Then he just doesn't go to the bath. I don't know. It's very unpleasant. It must be very uncomfortable. I don't know either.
So
what else did you see? Are those the only two you saw?
No. The last one I want to talk about is it's just the most in a beard. So there's been most forks, most chopsticks, most paper straws, most pencils, and most pencils in a beard in a minute.
In a beard?
A beard, like a man's facial hair. So they put 520 chopsticks in a dude's beard. It looks like they did a candy cane one too, with 187 candy canes in a beard. Now, I want to know if they were wrapped or not wrapped.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
I know that one of the cool records that my family has always been very, very into, because my family's very into cars, is the highest mileage car, which, I mean, it has to be, like, immediately I'm thinking, well, this is like an old car. It's not it's not a Kia, you know what I mean? And I've just looked it up, and it's a Volvo. It's a freaking Volvo, a 1966 Volvo. And it had 3,039,122 miles on it.
How many times did they rebuild that engine?
I don't know. And that brings up a good point. Is this just on the original engine?
Like all the original parts.
He must live in a place that doesn't rust, because I would think it would fall apart.
Yeah. Could you only do body work into like
that's a lot of miles. Also, how do you clock that? Your odometer's not going to 3 million.
It's like, do they just reset it and then like count again?
I don't know. Would he have told? I guess he would have to tell the Guinness people. I'm going to need the Guinness people to comment on this video and figure. Do they need to let you know ahead of time? Do you contact people? How does it work? A lot of questions.
I think people contact them and say, "Hey, we're going to do this."
But would they have had to clock this guy's car mileage from like 0?
I don't know.
In 1966?
Were they like tracking since then?
I don't know. That's crazy. That's a lot of course it's a Volvo. Classic.
Either way.
So you know that I live in St. Augustine and we have the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum here.
Oh, yes.
And so we have a couple Guinness record holder things in there.
What do you have?
And the one is the tallest man. And I think he is like still reigning supreme as the tallest man ever. And he was like, hold on, now I have to look it up. He was 272 centimeters. I don't know what that is in feet. He was 8 foot 11.1 inches tall, so almost 9 feet
that poor man.
He definitely had some sort of like medical situation.
That's like giant syndrome, and his poor heart probably couldn't even take it.
Yes, I'm quite sure. That was back in, he was born in 1918, so.
Oh, wow.
He lived from 1918 to 1940.
Yeah, 23
years.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
That makes sense.
And then I think in the Ripley's thing is like the fattest person or the largest person. I'm not sure what the stats are.
I don't know if I would want that recorded for myself, but that's a personal thing.
I mean, so yeah, these are, it does seem like a lot of them. It's funny. I just came across the longest fingernail lady. She had painted them as well. So good for her. She's really doing it. It's interesting to me that there's like no limit to what could be a Guinness Book record.
Right?
Like it could be, I can't even think, like the most shirts, or you know what I mean? Which, by the way, for anybody that wants to, my husband has that record.
Most shirts.
Most t-shirts.
The most band t-shirts. The most dinosaur t-shirts.
There's got to be different categories for them all, like the smallest guinea pig and, things like that. So
how about most feral cats that have kittens living in the back of my house right now?
Oh,
yeah.
Are they the smallest? Could you get them in the Guinness Book of World Records?
No, they're not the smallest.
Are there just like a plentiful amount, maybe?
Yeah, there's another mama cat that's about to pop with more kittens. So I'm like, oh God. We're going to start catching these suckers.
The most feral cats.
Don't spay and neuter your pets, people.
Yeah, really. Well, there you go. That's your Guinness Book. You contact them and you say, listen, in my community, we have the most feral cats. And then they can, I don't know how you calculate who may or may not have that, but I'm sure they can get right on it.
We should do the most feral cats that we've caught, spayed, and neutered. And then re-release
them. Guinness people, we're going to need you to go ahead and contact.
We got
some ideas. I think we got it.
Where's the ethical perimeters when animals are involved?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think that's enough for our Guinness World Record talk for today. If anybody has any ideas or comments or further information on Guinness World Records, we're looking at you Guinness people. Feel free to drop it in the comments and we look forward to chatting with you.
Or if you just want to throw out some weird stuff you saw.
Yeah, we do like weird stuff. So,
Well,
cheers, Kate. Until our next chat.
Let me get my gross drink. Good night. And good luck.
Switch out your drink. Drink better.
It's bad.